Hi everyone, Edward Zuli here. It's time for installment number 5 of Am I Psychic? Developing Your Gifts. The first thing I want to say, which I've said in comments and I've said in other formats, is that you all did such an amazing job with the photograph of the gentleman that I provided. I'll tell you right now that it was my grandfather. There was definitely loneliness, sadness, World War II. It was bicycles, not cars, but there were so many dead on hits. You did so well with it. And I just want to say that some of them were really, really surprising. So let's move along. That was something to just kind of stretch your intuitive sense and to see what kind of things you could pick up from photographs. This is a very hard exercise. I mean, you're looking at something on a computer, not in person. You don't have your client sitting in front of you per se, and you don't have your hands on the photograph. So today I want to talk about anxiety, gut feelings, hunches, and knowing. Okay. So we all understand anxiety, and that sometimes our mind can get us spinning to a place where we worry and create situations and things that may never come to pass. Or here's the problem with anxiety, is that you could be having some intuition mixed in with your anxiety, but if your anxiety is so out of control, you can't tell. Everything is a soup. Okay, so learning to contain your anxiety is really, really important in doing this work. You can't be anxious. You have to be available when you're working with your client. You have to be able to sit with them and not be like spinning off somewhere. So one of these ways to do this, and I'm not going to spend any time showing you how to do this because you can find this on YouTube, but it would be to do deep breathing exercises and relaxation. If you are able to meditate, then you should meditate before doing a reading, before having a client come in. It's even good to do that a little bit afterwards to help yourself clear. So, but if you have anxiety, you say, well, I can't meditate. My head is always going. And all right, I've known some really, really anxious ADHD, type A personality people whose brains are always going, and they have mastered the art of meditation. This is not about trying once, trying twice, being distracted, not being able to do it. It's about being able to sit, pay attention to your breathing, and just focus on your breathing. And allow a thought to come in. What should I make for dinner tonight? Notice, oh, there goes that thought, that dinner thought. I'm going to let that go and let it pass through and just get back to your breathing. And here comes another thought. Oh, I wonder what time my kid will get home from school today, blah, 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 blah. There goes another thought, and you let it go. So these thoughts will continue to bombard you as you're doing your breathing exercises. But ultimately, what we want to do is get to the point where you don't have to consciously dismiss those thoughts, that they start to pass by you without disturbing the sense of peace and the sense of connection that you're feeling by doing the breathing exercises. Breathing exercises are amazing. They're really good for, before you take a test, before you go into an anxious situation, before a wedding. They're just really amazing things. One of them, the yoga breathing that I like to do, is very basic, and it is, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, So the pattern is really exhale, inhale through one nostril, not inhale, exhale. It's exhale, inhale. So if you start with this one, you do inhale, then you switch immediately over and do your exhale and your next inhale through this one. Close your eyes, feel the air filling your lungs, relax. Your pulse is going to slow down, your mind is going to slow down, your heart rate is going to slow down. If you just practice doing this, it's really good for containing anxiety. That's really, really important, because if you have gut feelings, we all do. I mean, you've had them. You've had gut feelings. What's the difference between a gut feeling and a hunch? A gut feeling is kind of visceral. A gut feeling kind of hits you like, something. If you feel it here, like lower down, like here, you feel a gut feeling. That's why it's called a gut feeling. But a hunch is more of a mental, fleeting thing. It comes through your mind and goes through. Hunch. I have a hunch that. When do your gut feelings and your hunches become knowing? There's a lot to be said about this. A lot of you have the experience yourself where you will have a gut feeling or a hunch that you're going to see somebody or whatnot, or you have a gut feeling that something bad is going to happen to someone, and then you find out about it. That's validation. That creates a knowing in the spot. You then know that your hunch or your gut feeling was actually your intuition working, okay? It wasn't your anxiety, because it's really important to get your anxiety under control. It really, really is. I mean, you can imagine all kinds of things with your anxiety spinning around, and some of the things are going to come right. But so we have anxiety that needs to be separated from our mind and our space. Look, you can't necessarily, if you're an anxious person, I'm not saying that you have to remove your anxiety permanently. It would be nice. It would be a great thing to do for yourself, to find a way to control that, so that you could sort of flip a switch and your anxiety would stop. What I'm saying is, when you are getting ready to tune in or to do your development work or to start practicing your skills or try to discern what exactly your skills are, or if you have a hunch about something or a gut feeling about something, quiet yourself down, breathe, do the breathing exercise for a while, and let the thoughts pass, and see if anything else comes up about that hunch. If anything else comes up about that gut feeling for you, you might get a little bit of clarity, like, oh, it's not so-and-so, it's this other, or whatever. But you have to be able to cut the strings of that anxiety free and let it float away, so that you can be grounded and be able to allow your gut feelings or hunches to blossom, bloom, whatever you want, whatever language you want to use. So the exercise here is to, I have to address the other thing, which is knowing. Yes, you can know once you've had a gut feeling or a hunch validated. You can then have a knowing, all right? But you also can get to the point where you've had enough validation of your gut, enough validation of your hunches, that you are knowing, that you know. There's just something about knowing. And this is the one thing that most mediums and psychics will say. There's something called a knowing, that there's this thing about, I don't know how I knew that, I just knew that. It's just, okay. But when you have a lot of anxiety, that knowing can get tangled up. So we got to clip the anxiety balloons and let them float away and be grounded and allow our hunches and our gut feelings to grow and to be nurtured with peace and tranquility and stillness. Okay. I always do some kind of meditation before a client comes in. Depending on what you wind up finding your strength is. And next time I'm going to be going through the different clairs, clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant. That's going to be for the next one. But once you have sort of figured out what your strengths are and your abilities and your intuition, like what areas are you strongest in? Did you knock it out of the park looking at those photographs? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you didn't do so well with the photographs, but you are able to be with someone and feel their energy and have a knowing or have a gut feeling or have a hunch about them. Okay, remember, you're keeping a journal, you're writing these things down. If you have a hunch about someone, a gut feeling about someone, if you have not started your little book, and I know some of you are skipping around and not looking at these videos in order, but I really would like you to look at them in order. So if you're coming in now at number 5, I would really, really like you to go back to number 1 and watch what I said about having a notebook that you can use for both your intuition moments, your moments of intuition, and your dreams. Okay? Because it's really important to keep track of both of those things if you're going to try to develop a skill. So, I would like to hear more from you about moments of, in the comments section here, moments of intuition, or where you had a gut feeling, or you had a hunch about something, and it came to pass, that you got validation, or that you immediately knew, like it wasn't a gut feeling, it wasn't a hunch. What I'd like you to do is try to discern for yourself the difference between, anxiety, a state of being in anxiety, versus this was a gut feeling, this was a hunch, this was a knowing. I had the information, it just came to me. A hunch has a question mark after it. Knowing doesn't. Okay? So with that, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to say keep your journals. Stay tuned for the next one because we're going to be meeting all the clairs. A lot of clairs to meet. And that's going to be in the next video. So in the meantime, wash your hands, social distance, put on your masks. If you haven't sent in your absentee ballot request, please do that if you're planning to vote by mail. And until then, I guess that's it, but I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.